Number 5 is that you must create polarity. All right. I almost hate this word with the current environment in the world right now, but I have to include it when it comes to marketing. All right. And let me know in the comment section real quick. I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section. This guy over here on the left, type in love him if you love him, or you don't actually have to share this. This guy on the right, let's go with him, right? Conor McGregor, type in love him if you love him, type in hate him if you hate him. All right. And I'll share the lesson here in just a minute. All right. Hate him, love him, love him, love him. All right. Hate him, love him, love him. All right. So we're getting a lot of love hims and a lot of hate hims, right? We're talking about Conor McGregor, of course. Now, these are two of the most, one is from obviously politics at this point. One of them is from athletics, right? These are two of the most polarizing figures in their own individual kind of realms and worlds. Now, essentially, what's powerful about polarity is that when you have a group of people that absolutely loves you, or excuse me, that absolutely hates you, you'll also have a group of people that absolutely loves you. All right. So based on the comments that I just read off back to you, you guys probably see the comments right now. There's a lot of love him and a lot of hate him, right? There's very little, yeah, I don't really care, right? Like when it comes to Conor McGregor, if you're a UFC guy, you either love him or you hate him. Now, let me ask you this. If someone just kind of says, yeah, you know, Misha, he's kind of, I don't really know what he's that good at. I don't really feel one way or another about him. Is that person going to buy a bunch from me? Let me know in the comments section. If someone has that kind of thought process towards me and my marketing, do you think that person's going to buy everything I have to offer? No, right? In order to have someone come through a process and want to buy everything you have to offer, they have to absolutely love you. And in order to absolutely love you, there has to be a group of people that also doesn't love you. Now, there's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Let me go ahead and move on here. When you're polarizing, whether people love you or hate you, they'll continue to tune into your message and talk about you. And this is a big thing that I want you to get. Conor McGregor being the perfect example, or Trump, right? Both of those people, the people that absolutely hate him, even though they absolutely hate him, they still constantly talk about them. And when you constantly have people talking about you, you naturally will have more and more attention. When you naturally have more and more attention, your audience will grow virally. All right. So naturally, when you're polarizing, people will talk. When people talk, your audience grows. Would you rather have 5,000 people kind of sort of like you, or would you rather have 50,000 people tune in, half of whom absolutely love you and half of whom absolutely hate you? All right. Let me know in the comments section. And this is a tough one for people, right? Because you have to be okay and you have to be all right with the thought of someone absolutely hating you. And a lot of people don't want to have that kind of, attention from anyone at all. And therefore, naturally, they're hesitant in kind of adopting this approach. But the truth is that it is infinitely more powerful to have 50,000 people tuning in and have 25,000 of them being loyal followers who absolutely love you than having 5,000 people, or for that matter, 100,000 people just kind of sort of saying, oh, okay, he's all right. Right. But the truth is that if you have that polarity on both sides, you'll naturally have a bigger audience because, once again, people will constantly be talking about you and spreading what they feel about you one way or another. All right. So more examples of this at work. Howard Stern, right? People tend to absolutely love Howard Stern. People tend to absolutely hate Howard Stern. Two different sides of the equation. What happens either which way? Right? People tend to tune in. People tend to listen to Howard Stern, right? Maybe less than before, but again, still a ton. Rush Limbaugh's passed now, right? But used to crack me up. I mean, my dad couldn't stand Rush Limbaugh, and I grew up, listening to my dad absolutely hate this guy, and every single morning he'd still listen to him. Right. And I was just a little 10-year-old kid going, well, why the hell are you listening to him if you absolutely hate him? And every time we drive to school, my dad would be listening to Rush. My dad would be passionately disagreeing with Rush. Right. Yet still he would listen to him all the time. All right. And so when you're polarizing, whether people love you or hate you, they don't ignore you. And when people don't ignore you, you will naturally have a bigger audience. Now, again, there's a right way to do this and there's a wrong way to do this. So we don't want to just say, all right, I'm going to be polarizing. I'm going to go say a bunch of inappropriate stuff in my marketplace and therefore get a bunch of attention. That's a very short-lived polarization that leads to zero sales. All right. So the right way to do this is to define clearly, just like with your moral code, define clearly what you stand for and define clearly what you stand against. All right. When you stand against and for something, and you're specifically, once again, for and against something, you will attract people in a certain way, just like your moral code does. And you want to do this in a certain way where you condition your prospects to buy condition your perfect prospects to buy your products while repelling your nightmare customers. All right. So just like with your moral code, let me run through this. All right. What I stand for: investing in yourself, constant learning, freedom, lifestyle, investing in yourself, mastery of skill sets, continual growth, doing the work, and investing in it yourself. All right. Now I've put investing in yourself 3 times because I truly do stand for that, believe in that, continually do it myself all the time. But also when my audience believes in investing myself is the right way to go, what do you guys think? Is it more likely that my audience will purchase from me or less likely? Let me know in the comments section. Do you think more likely or less likely? If my audience believes that they need to invest in themselves, which is 100% true. So never lie in your marketing, never mislead people, right? But yes, it is more likely. And so I have that as part of my moral code. Now, what I stand against, just like with, once again, my moral code elements: get rich quick, flashing cash, wanting the system to do all the hard work for you, refunders, blaming the system for lack of results, laziness, etc. These are all the things that I stand against. So I constantly talk about, once again, how I do not want to work with people who have these traits, and therefore I, simultaneously push these people away while also attracting the people who feel the exact same way. Now, what do we think the easiest way to create polarity the right way is? Let me know in the comment section. What do we think the easiest way to create polarity is the right way? All right. And I'll guide you guys here, but the easiest way to create polarity the right way is to scorn behaviors that you stand against. All right. So as an example, and the key that I want to share here is that you want to scorn a behavior. You don't want to scorn a person. Right. So let's say you have someone come through and you don't stand for people refunding after they go through programs, right? Which I hate. I hate when people buy a product, go through the entire product, wait till day 29 of a 30-day refund period, and then refund. I can't stand it. Drives me nuts. It feels like they stole my intellectual property. Right. And so when someone does that, I don't take the photo of the person asking for the refund and put it on Facebook and rip into the person. I scorn the overall behavior. All right. So not to be political, but to use a political example here, the fastest way to build a relationship with a Democrat is probably to scorn Republicans and Republican belief systems, right? On the opposite end, the fastest way to build a relationship with a Republican is probably to scorn a Democrat and a Democrat's belief systems, right? It's infinitely more powerful to scorn the other side than to say, yes, I'm a Republican too. Yes, I'm a Democrat too, right? If we can create that common enemy within our marketing and not do it from a political way, but just do it essentially from what I'm talking about with what you stand for, what you stand against in the context of the marketplace. And if you can create, once again, polarization against certain behaviors that you don't stand for, the people who agree with you will naturally feel much stronger of a connection with you. In openly sharing and intensely scorning what you stand against, you become magnetic to people who share those same views. All right. So they become loyal fans. We do not want email list subscribers. And that might shock you guys, right? You've been telling me this entire time to build my list. Your list is your single most valuable asset. I have been, right? The truth is that we don't want just email list subscribers. We want people on our email list who are loyal fans. And how we create loyal fans is by implementing and executing upon the attractive character. It's better to be magnetic to some and disliked by others than to be thought of as just okay by everyone. When everyone just kind of thinks of you as just okay, guess what? No one knows who you are. No one follows you. No one tunes in, and no one pays attention. If no one's paying attention, no one's going to purchase. So your assignment after this call, of course, is to go ahead and take some time and get clear on, within the context of the marketplace, what you stand for, what you stand against, who you're going to polarize towards you, and what behaviors you're going to polarize kind of against you, and essentially get clear on what your perfect customer avatar will be in alignment with, so that you can attract your perfect customer avatar moving forward. All right.